What's up, everybody? Well, I got another $667 gaming PC gameplay video for you guys today. And today, we're going to try some Cone Vein 2. And seeing how it's ran on everything else, it probably is not going to be a great experience here, but we're going to give it a damn try anyway. Although I think I have to wait till tomorrow at 2 a.m. to try it. Well, technically 1:50. But regardless, I already played on 5 systems, so that's all you can do. But I figured I got everything out, might as well make an intro. So, luckily, through video editing, we'll just go hop in the settings right about now. So alright, we're going to start just maxed out, which is honestly just what I would do if I was going to play the game, seeing as though the CPU unfortunately bottlenecks it a little bit too bad otherwise. But we'll still try it anyway, just for fun. Then we'll also try DLSS just to show you that it doesn't really do anything. And then we'll drop it to high, same thing. But now, let's go jump into the game.
I feel great! I feel like the best! I can see all day! Let me show you! Sorry for that.
So now we'll try a little DLSS on quality, and it doesn't really get us any extra FPS, really. But that's just because we were already CPU bottlenecked as it is. Not everywhere, but in a lot of places. If we just did regular old, no upscaling. But now that we've got that out of the way, let's go see what it can do, and then we'll do the same thing on high next.
weather sure cleared up.
I feel light as a feather. I feel being targeted. Sweep them away.
What's the price? I don't know.
So now let's drop it down to high, which again still isn't really going to help us with our CPU bottleneck problem. In fact, you'd want to higher. You do the settings as high as you possibly can go, because you're not going to really get any more FPS by lowering the resolution or the settings in that case, and that's kind of what we're running into here. But I still wanted to show anyway, just to prove it, and I'm sure people were curious what would happen. But with that said, let's jump back to the game.
Going all out. That all down. I feel
Now, last up here, we're going to try some DLSS quality, and it still, again, isn't going to do anything for us. And then I'm going to switch to some cam recorded gameplay after we do this, and I'm going to put it back to native maxed out. But now, let's go get some gameplay.
feel great! Nope. I can feel okay. Let me show you.
Now's hardly the time to lose hope.
I feel great! Going all out! I didn't set off you guys!
Well, alright guys, let's get a little camcorder gameplay. I decided to just max everything back out, because that at least makes our GPU do 100% usage most of the time. Other than that, we just CPU bottleneck, you get no extra FPS from it.
as a feather. I can
But yeah, not a 60 plus experience by any means. Yeah, this is definitely a hard one to run. And why, I don't know. It's not like it looks especially great. It doesn't look horrid by any means. It doesn't look like it would run like this. That seems to be how a lot of games run. Especially because I can play Rec Room way better. Keep in mind, this is a big wide open world versus a super closed corridors game. That's why Doom and Resident Evil can look so good. They're very, very small spaces you're running in. This is a big wide open world. So that's probably the only reason. And the CPU in this is basically akin to a Zen 2 CPU in like a console. Only still faster because, you know, it's not limited by cooling, and I've actually got it clocked at 4 gigahertz instead of, I think it's supposed to be 2.8 or something like that. So, it's still a little faster than those. But it still holds it back in a lot of situations. But, if you use the right settings, it doesn't hold it back too much. But see, we just dropped down at under 90%, 68. See, there's still times where it bottlenecks it. I knew it was going to, but it's just the thing that came with the system. Buying parts around and stuff. I was never even expecting to get this thing back, so we put it in a much better case, got it a better CPU cooler, and gave it a much better GPU, and now it's a pretty damn badass little rig. I'm sure a lot of people can play like this, no problem. Me, I'd like 60 plus, absolutely, but if this was my own computer, I could still at least have fun playing like this. This isn't exactly a twitchy first-person shooter, I'm using a controller. Now, if I start using my mouse, this feels way worse. Like, that's unplayable to me at all. Keyboard and mouse, definitely 60 plus. I can deal with under 60 with the controller. But I still don't like going down all the way down to like 30 or 40. Even this is getting over 40 now. Barely at times, but it still is. Now, I will say they did an alright job on water. I noticed a lot of like the newer games, like I remember like Assassin's Creed times with like Black Flag and stuff. Water was like, wow, these are some crazy water physics, and then like everyone else did pretty good too, and then we kind of went backwards and stopped caring about it. I think people started going, ah, nobody's going to notice that. Who cares? Let's not even do anything with that. Like in some games, we'd be leaving like footprints on the beach right now. But in this game, they just decided, nope, no one's going to notice it. We're not going to add it in. Kind of shit. Then you've got Red Dead Redemption 2, where they're like, dude, we're going to put so much freaking detail into every conceivable thing. So that's why I still like those kinds of games.
I'm getting fired up.
Let's see if we can kick this guy's ass. One good hit at it, but he always hits me too. Yeah, real quick. Yeah, no. He's too fast. Just gotta get better at the dodging. It seems like it's delayed a little bit. Yeah. We went from absolutely getting dominated by him, it's impossible to win, to being able to beat him relatively easily. I'd like to get to a point where I don't get hit by him, though. That's what I'd like at this point. Instead of worrying about how fast I can kill him, it's kind of kill him without getting hit. Kind of like with everything. I don't want to get hit by anything in these games. You only have so many heals, and then if you go and get your heals back, now all the monsters are back, so. Just like most Souls-like games. But yeah, if you had the same setup with a little bit faster CPU, you'd probably be pretty good. You'd probably be right around like high 50s to over 60 most of the time, I would guess, with this at 1080p. And then if you're at 1440p, then you could have a decent CPU, and you actually probably could make use of the upscaling. I can't. This thing's too weak. It doesn't do anything, as I showed you. That's why I just put everything back. If I had this is how I'd play. I didn't really get any FPS by making it look like shit, so why should I make it look shittier, right? Might as well just max it out in game. Some people would say use lossless scaling, but for me, none of these frame gem stuff works good unless you are getting 80 to 100 FPS already. And me personally, I'd rather just have the real 80 to 100 FPS at that point. But that's just me. I'm still glad the technology exists because other people seem to really like it. I'm not one of those people who's like, oh my god, I don't like this thing. No one else can have it. You know, that's just fucking stupid. If I don't like something, just ignore it and don't use it. Let everybody else enjoy it. Alright, let's go kill the mutant doggos. And then probably wrap up after that.
Going all out. I'm getting fired up. Here goes.
Oh, he still got me twice.
You're gonna keep going. Be careful.
See, I even get hit by little weak things like dogs. Gotta stop getting hit by shit. But it is what it is. I'll get better at it by the time I'm done, hopefully. I'm pretty sure I beat the first game. Or at least got pretty far, and I have to go look. But right now I'm on my Trails of Cold Steel binge. Still in the third game. That one seems to be the longest one out of the series so far. Anyway, why don't we go wrap this video on up? Well, alright guys, that's a wrap for Code Vein 2 on the $667 PC. And it's not exactly the greatest experience. It's not the worst experience in the world. Far from the best. I think it's mostly the CPU holding it back. If you had a little bit more new CPU, it probably wouldn't be so bad. You'd probably be at like right around 60 average then. Maybe still have some drops into the 50s, I'm sure, but you'd be alright. And then, if you were at 1440p with this GPU and you had enough VRAM, you could still at least make use of some upscaling instead of like me, it did nothing since we're at 1080p and we're already kind of CPU bottlenecked. So it did nothing for us. Still showed it. Same thing with lowering settings. That's why I didn't bother with my settings. My settings would be just playing the game maxed out since you're CPU bottlenecked. But either way, that's all for the video. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video because I sure as hell enjoy making it for you guys. And I still can't do a proper peace out yet, so a left-handed peace out it is. And until the next video.